Alright, welcome to another live stream, SNES Tracker development. This is the first day I've ever done the live stream. So this is the second stream of the first day. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm going to advertise it to BOPA, SNES Tracker, Dev, live stream. Here we go. Let's go back to SNES Tracker. Okay, so I'm going to try to pay attention to the chat. Last time I kind of forgot to look at it every now and then. Hope I don't do that again. So, yeah. Alright, first things first. I think this time I should at least... Well, I don't expect there to be too many people watching this, but I am hosting a Win32 build. You know, nothing fancy or anything. It's literally the first Win32 build to just compile it all. So there's like 90% of the SPC debugger actually works. So, hey, I don't really mind if people try it. Just let me know what you think of it and, you know, report any feedback. It's not supposed to be like a public release or anything, so I'm just kind of letting people see it anyway. So where you can find that is, I'll write it in the chat box. Oh god. Let me ask Yuki to paste it in the chat box. Yuki, can you paste the link to the Win32 build, please? Okay. Alright, and me and Yuki and Vilex Dryad, if I'm pronouncing that name right, Vilex Dryad, we did a lot of talking about the sort of long-term goals for SNES Tracker, and basically that all sums up to modularity. Ideally, there's going to be an SPC driver that I build, and potentially others that the other ones can either be other ones that people build themselves or actual SPC engines that exist in games that have come out that people have either reverse engineered or reverse engineer, and then can come up with a driver interface that plugs in to SNES Tracker, so you can actually use those drivers in SNES Tracker. So one example off the top of my head would be like a typical tracker interface has effects. You know, each effects has certain numbers. So each of these SPC drivers will probably have a number of common effects, you know, like vibrato for one. So that we would probably standardize on a vibrato having a specific number so that across the board it's always the same effect, same number. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of them have unique effects, which of course would just get a different number, and then you would have to read up on that specific engine's effects if you wanted to use that specific engine. But ideally, it's just doing what I'm doing with the GUI, just abstracting the interface so that it can sort of be hot plugged in with specific implementations of certain interfaces, for lack of a better word. And so that's one of the long-term goals. Another long-term goal is I want to do a net play thing. And net play is going to be really cool. And when I say it off the bat, that might mislead some people to think that the interfaces are going to be exactly at the same state. No, I actually want people to be able to be remotely at different places in the tracker, and everything doesn't have to be synchronized. So, you know, one person can be listening to the song while another person is customizing a sample, and occasionally when people are actually in the same sort of menu or a part of the tracker, they can see each other's activity, but they can go off in different parts and do different things. I'm sure that certain things are going to have, you know, sort of locks to make sure that there's no discrepancies, just like a database access would need. But that's one of my dreams, long-term dream, and I really want SNES Tracker to be as abstract as possible, so that it could even be a sort of extendable tracker front end, just generically, like take the SNES part out. That I think that would be really neat. Hopefully that's possible. That's still at a very dream status in my mind. So there's not a lot of implementation details in my head on that. But one of them is to just make sure that I'm not incorporating any sort of graphical elements. Like that should be cut off from a lot of the data should be data, and then the graphical display of that data it should be separated. I'm just making sure I can do that. All right, so that's a lot of theoretical stuff. Let's move on. Right now, I just want to get back into the, just like in the now. What am I doing? And it's literally nothing exciting. Just organizing the code. Yeah, so you can all leave now. I'm gonna just go do some boring stuff. No, it should be hopefully enlightening, but maybe a little boring. I wish it wasn't. So yeah, thanks Yuki for posting that Win32 build up. And yeah, shouts to Puke7 because Puke totally inspired my live stream layout. His is cooler than mine. He's got like he's got like a way better computer than I do. My computer struggles just to do this without extra like music playing and I don't know, other stuff, more webcams. I think he's got 2 webcams. So yeah, I have no idea if anyone's watching, but I like to, since this is like my first day streaming, I'm just gonna like not be pretending that people are, I don't know what I'm saying. No, like I want to feel like people are watching because I think that puts me in the zone. Makes me feel like, all right, people are watching. I better get stuff done. So I'm gonna try to get myself in the zone here. I'm gonna shut my door to my room, get focused. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm just super happy to be working on this project. This is one of my dreams for like a long time. Just happy to be here. Okay. So this grand mode crap's gotta go. Look at my mouser is like, because it's just like, there's not enough CPU. I have to close all these tabs. Give me some memory back. Close, 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 close. Okay. So I'm gonna keep explaining as I go, picking up where I left off in the last stream, which was that originally the SNES Tracker Debugger. Yes, it is STD for short. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to change that because I don't know if I can keep that up. When I first started it, I really want to finish this explanation. So I'm opening up STD and just open an SPC to fill the screen. Might lag running this program with the live stream, we'll see. Alright, so let's stop. Yeah, it'll repeat SPCs, but I stopped it. Good. So yeah, when this app was first made, this memory window used to be the main app window, and after I added in the other tabs, I still continue to call the memory tab the main window, And what happens is in this main memory, which is a tab now, I had certain modes, like there would be an edit mode if you were in the mouse over hex dump and you double click and you go into an edit mode. And there's probably some other modes. Consider that I haven't looked at the code in 8 months until a few days ago-ish. But then I had these tabs, and these tabs are like sort of a different, I called it a grand mode at the time because, remember, I called my memory tab the main window. It's just super confusing, so I'm organizing it, and now there's just going to be tabs, and in the tabs there'll be the sub modes. And right now is me just looking at the code and trying to collect all that data and put it to the right parts, rename it the right way. So here I go. You're gonna have to have watched the other stream to kind of know what this based sort of class is, but it's basically the home of a lot of global information that I just think should be able to be there for the accessing of this application. And I am very gladly pulling stuff out of there. I want less stuff to be in there, sort of. At least stuff that shouldn't be in there. So yeah. Like this draw menu bar, that's gotta go. I just gotta see what's calling it and hopefully not get too scared by what's calling it. Let's just do it. See, I've commented a lot of those subtabs because they used to draw the menu bar, each of them individually. So I'm commenting them out so that I can have my main window drawing function just draw the bar. So that's good. Nothing seems to be calling it then, so that's good. I can probably just delete that. And then just have it in the right place. Oh boy. Look at all this shit. Yeah, and literally all it does is just call the menu bar objects draw. So you see how this is using this screen? And you might be wondering, where did that screen get declared? And it's part of this based class. Like I said, when this app was originally created, I had this like globally accessible render context, which I would classes that wanted to access it rather than just accessing it, I would have it inherit it, so it was sort of object oriented. But anyway, I can get rid of all that crap now since I'm organizing it better, to say the least. So I'm always cutting what I remove just in case I need it, but I don't think I'll need that. So when I left off, I was in the middle of running this in currently open tab. So this currently open tab is going to be the new grand mode, but it's going to speak more for itself, and it's not going to be called a freaking grand mode because I'm sticking all these levels of modes all in this one freaking based object thing. Fuck that. Alright. So it should be mem. Hold up. I want to look at this grand mode crap. Okay. Sometimes I want to capitalize my enumerations, the names of them, just to be clear that they're an enumeration. But I haven't really defined that as a standard in this code yet. One of the things that's pretty standard, and I got it from Game Music Emu, which sort of has a nice abstraction over the APU emulator as a music player, is that they use all lowercase function names with underscores. You see that on my screen right now. Sometimes that bothers me because if I've come from a QT background as well, where they don't do that. There's no underscores. It's just lowercase with uppercase other words. But just stuck to GME. Alright, so should probably be writing that down, like the whole standards of how to make code for that. So I'm going to write that on my to-do. I'm just going to write it on the document, on my paper for now. Document. Coding standards. And even though I debate capitalizing the names for enumerations, I'm just going to leave it like that. And we'll start off with a memory. Currently open tab will be the memory tab. This is something I might need to that came from the base class. I'll just write that came from based. So you can see I'm making this new main window object, and the old main window, which was the memory tab, is now called a mem tab. Let's open that up, and it's got now it's everything that it does is respective to itself. Yeah, see, these are the modes that I had in the mem tab. So now they can have its own little internal modes, and I can have my main window modes, which I'm not even going to call a mode. I'm just going to call it currently open tab. And this will be used in the this will be used for the event processing, the drawing, etc. Because there's another part of these applications that I've sort of invented. It's my way of doing things, and you know, when I have to explain this stuff, because when I work alone I don't gotta explain it to anybody, but I'm gonna explain it to you. I call the class an experience, of all things. And it's funny because when you work alone you can just call things whatever you want, and if you like it, you like it. But I feel like telling other people, it's like, what? But I like it. So anyway, I call it an experience, and basically, let me see if I can find the experience header file. It's just a header file, virtual class. It's definitely in shared. It's not really a GUI. It's sort of related, but so yeah, here it is. And basically, it's got a specific run function, a one-time draw, a receive event, and basically, depending on what's sort of the active. Oh God, when's the stream? When the stream started? I started this stream about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. So I hope it's working. This is my second time streaming. Not a pro by any means. I don't even know if this stream has an appropriate title. It could just say untitled. But nice to see you here, Vilx Dryad. And while you're here, do you pronounce your name Vilx Dryad? Am I saying that right? Or Vilx Dryad? Because I know you're Hispanic, so I know maybe Dryad. Well, you tell me. And of course, there's a 15-second delay, so I'm just going to get back into this experience class. So this is largely made so that in my game loop, I can automatically, based on sort of the active widget or whatever, for lack of better words, I can just sort of assign this pointer to whatever is active, and whatever it's pointing to has these run functions, these draw functions, and these receive event functions, so they can process their own things in their own way. and my game loop doesn't have to worry about any of it. It can just go to whatever's supposed to be operated on. Villex Dryad, got it. Cool. One of the most uncanny names I've ever seen. I'm not sure where you got that from. Villex Dryad. Right. Don't know where that came from. All I can think of right now is that the ad is dry. It's a dry ad. Alright, so that was the experience in sort of a brief explanation. And I want to further convey that by showing you one of the highest level source files is the debugger, and you don't have to worry about. We're just gonna focus on the run function, and here we have like our main game loop here, which is while not quitting, and here is where I am calling the currently assigned experiences run and draw functions. And I definitely want to improve the window processing code, but since this is a relatively new feature, right now it can process a sub window that's active, which is it's kind of good that we landed on this part of the code, because now that I'm recognizing that memory tab as more of a tab. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but basically what's going to happen is I'm never going to I'm a little bit uncertain, but I'm planning on not having a sub window experience anymore, but rather just process the active window. That is the experience. There's no See, I originally thought that I would have to process sub windows that are active, or at least the singular active sub window, and still process the main window, because it's the actual window that's running the SPC file and stuff. So there's that discrepancy there of, can I just process this window and have that one still functioning without separating the experiences as a sub window experience and keep processing the main window experience? That's something I need to look into, because if I could have it just as one and still have everything run the way I want it to, that'd be nice. But right now, and previously, it wasn't thought that I could do that. I thought I would have to process the main Windows code and also process the focused sub window. So I could have a couple other windows open, but they're not all focused, and only the one that's actually focused, that's the one that gets assigned the current sub window experience, and that's the one that will its run function will be executed and its draw function will be executed. And the other ones will just be sitting idle somewhere. They don't need to be updated with the run function or redrawn at all. So that's how that works. And handle events. Well, I guess I'm covering SNES tracker code on a greater scale than just my edits that need to be done. But I can't resist, so handle events. This is like a global event handler that will, for the whole application wide, it'll handle certain things that I want to happen no matter what window you're in. Such as we got window event resize events, which definitely need a whole new sort of approach. But that's going to take a lot of skill and should be done later down the road when the interface, the whole architecture is very concretely defined. It's still super prototype, so I don't deal with that. I don't know if I can handle putting that in my head right now. So yeah, but this is some stuff that we deal with. There's actually a lot of window processing code here. You see a lot of these window focus gained. Certain things need to happen. I don't want to get into it, but yeah. Sorry to hear that your PC's laggy, Villex Dryad. I hope it's not just that my PC is laggy and doing a bad job at streaming. But anyway, after we take care of a lot of these sort of global events, Actually, this is a good example of drop file. So you can drop an SPC file onto the, it's different for each platform. On OS X, it's when you drop an SDL file onto the app icon in the dock. I think on Linux, and probably Windows too, it's when you take the SPC and just drop it on the app window. So that's like sort of a global thing I want to be able to process. But then at the end, we process, if there's a sub-window experience available, active, I can go ahead and process those events specifically, and then I can do my main. This is usually my main app window. I can't imagine it being anything else at the moment, but I'm also going through a sort of architectural refactoring. Yeah, we call that that experiences receive event function. I hope I'm doing a good job at explaining this stuff, and I hope it's a good approach. Okay. I've actually documented my whole approach to implementing an SDL windowing engine. It's somewhere in the YouTube archives for SNES Tracker, and it's probably outdated because I've made more improvements to it. But getting back to the task at hand, which I really got to get better at. All right, I want to start talking about what I've done so far in this sort of migration architectural change that I need to keep a track of so that I can actually compile this thing again. So one of the things I've done is I've moved a lot of source files into new directories, and what that poses a potential threat to is I might have to redefine where the include files are, and I might have to re-specify the include statements in a lot of source files. So I'm going to write that down as something I need to do. Include header files, new locations. So we're talking about the make file might have to, or source file include statements. And I'll just identify exactly what moved where when I go to approach this task. Oh god, I wrote it on the wrong thing. Props to me for being so disorganized. But I'm working on it. I mean, I wouldn't be refactoring it if I didn't want a bit more organized. Here we go. Include headers. You know, I actually had the thought of if I could just rip what I wrote and just tape it. I'm actually going to try it because, yeah, I'm that kind of guy. I know, I should just write it. Alright. Yeah, sometimes I just like writing things better. Even if it's slower, I have a lot of anxiety sometimes with projects because I want to get so much done so quickly. So I think if anything, I can take this writing something down on paper as a sort of opportunity to force myself to, hey, take your time. You see how slow this feels to write it on paper? It should feel okay to be moving that slowly. Okay. Include headers, new locations. Good. Alright. Dryad is actually a nymph. Like, alright, correct me if I'm wrong, but nymph is like someone who really loves to have sex, right? Pretty sure. What compiler am I using? I am using the GNU compiler collection. So, does that answer your question? I mean, I could go off a little further on that as far as detailing the current status of the build system. And if Yuki, if you're watching, because I know you were sort of interested in potentially bringing a native Windows compilation support, I wouldn't mind going over that with you, sort of where it's at right now and what it needs to be a better automated build system, or at least one that you can understand enough so that you could easily be able to go in and make your own changes to it. But I don't know if you're watching the stream, so I'm gonna see if I get a response from you. I'm gonna ping you, actually. I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but he, she, whatever. It. All right. I would love to go over the build system. I don't know if I'm capable of sticking to one little task here. I sense a lot of potential in focusing on the build system right now, because I've very recently made a lot of modifications to it. It's very fresh in my mind. It'd be something I think valuable to go over, especially with Yuki-chan, who might be making some improvements. I wish I had a way of like ringing him up. Here, I'll just tell him what's up. Okay. So yeah, kind of thinking I should go over the build system anyway. And I think I should make a new stream if I'm gonna go over the build system, just so it's easily identifiable which stream is the build system stream. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna go off. Okay, so I just started a new stream, and we're going to actually go over the build system involved with SNES Tracker Debugger, specifically so that we can make it better, and that anyone who wants to make it better can understand it and will be better prepared to make changes to it. And first thing I'm going to ask, because I just made this new stream while I was in the middle of the old one, is Vilex Dryad was with me. I want to make sure that he sees this new stream. So Vilex Dryad, if you could send me a message on the YouTube chat or on IRC to let me know that this is working, that'd be nice. And I think for this video, we're gonna go all the way to checking out the SNES Tracker source code from GitHub. We'll start there, and we'll forget about all these new changes I'm making to the system, which have rendered it incompilable. But that's just my local uncommitted version, so that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure that Vilex Dryad pings me on this. I want to make sure he's with us. Oh, that's great. So he just said he can compile in whatever system. So are you seeing this, Vilex Dryad? Can you just say something like, I see it, I see it? I want to say right now that because we're kind of experiencing technical difficulties, that I'll put a comment. I hope I remember to do this. I'll put a comment to exactly where in this video stuff goes down, like where we actually really legit start doing stuff. Either that or I'm just going to stop the stream. I'm not getting any response. Yeah, he got it. Alright. It's just that slow bat on my new CP lol. Okay. Well, if you really can compile on whatever system, I think... This is going to be interesting because I was thinking about Linux, first of all. I think it is the most no BS platform to get started on. So if you can get your Linux box ready, we're going to go and cover how to do this on Linux. And since my Linux is Gen 2, I think you said your Linux is Mint, which I believe uses apt-get, right, to install packages. That's a package manager that I haven't used in a while. So part of this will probably be making sure that we get the dependencies installed via that package manager, and then eventually I will document all of the different package management commands in SNES Tracker's repository so that people can easily just sort of copy and paste it. But this is going to be a more, let's do this for the first time. You know, it's gonna be a learning experience, but that'll be part of what builds our documentation up. So Linux Dryad, just confirm with me that you got your Linux up and running and that you're ready, and tell me if I'm right that you're using Mint. In fact, if you can, just tell me exactly what you're using. I mean, 64-bit, Mint. You can even put in what kernel version you have. And if you don't know how to do that, you can use the command. I'll write it down. It's I believe you can just get it by typing uname-a. It should be in part of that information. It's too late for Yuki to get involved, he says. Okay. Well, I'm going to take a step-by-step sort of learning process, excuse me, with Linux Dryad on I'll say cloning, on cloning SNES Tracker source code and compiling on his Linux distro, Mint, I believe. Stark. I am live streaming the above topic at... Oh no, what did I do? No! What happened? Stark. I am live streaming the above topic at... Let's see if this works this time. Oh, it's in my other menu. Here we go. Alright, where's that? YouTube, no. YouTube channel live. Yeah, all streams are getting saved. It seems. I don't know if they're permanent. Then I can watch it tomorrow when I'm fresh. Yeah, I don't know if these if these videos are getting archived permanently or whatever, but one day should probably be okay. Alright, so herp derp. Vilex Dryad. Linux Mint 64 bits. Are you ready, Vilex Dryad? Because I'm feeling ready. Yeah, I wish I could have streamed from my Linux, but that's like super pain in the butt. OS X makes this so easy. Oh, wait a second, because I'm using OBS, I might be able to do this from Linux. Good idea, Yuki. But I'm already streaming, so I'm not gonna switch. So I'm gonna wait till I get the OK from Vilex Dryad, and then we're gonna do this step-by-step process. Gotta go to watch. Go to watch. Gotta go fast. Hey Stark, just got your comment. I understand, but very bad. Does that mean that you understand English, or do you mean like the technical stuff? Not sure what you mean. Oh, it's sad because I don't understand English speak. Gotcha. Didn't see that. Well, I will try to speak clearly and concisely, and hopefully not use too many colloquialisms, aka slang. Oh crap, is that Vilex saying he's ready? I think that is. It says, yeah, I can. He can. I'm not sure what he can, but he can. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do, and I just realized that my computer is struggling to make this live stream, so I'm not sure if I can bring up a browser, but I'm going to try. Just let's hope that this doesn't cause a lot of lag. We're going to try this, okay? Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing, baby. Here we go. Alright, got the tab open. We're going to go to GitHub. Alright, and the specific URL is /Bazzinotti. That's 2 Z's, 2 T's. That's BAZZINOTTI, all lowercase. And then we've got the SNES tracker. So that's capital S, capital N, capital E, capital S, hyphen, tracker with a capital T. And there we go. Hit enter. And just by going here, I've realized the first thing you're going to want to get. We're going to talk about that later, but it's going to be libgme-m. But first, let's go and clone this. So I'm actually logged in, so I'm going to have a different text here than you. This is going to be like, this is my personal text to make a clone. Now, if you have Git and you want to develop for SNES Tracker, you're going to want Git because Git's going to be the thing that lets you like commit your changes. But I wouldn't have to explain that to you if you knew about Git anyways, and you probably should know about Git if you want to get involved. If not, go learn about Git, but do that at some other time. Now, if you don't have Git, it's still okay. You can still download it. You would just hit the download zip and then unzip it later after it downloads. But I'm going to pretend you have Git, and that's like the way I'm going to do this right now in this example. So what I have is I have like a code directory in my home directory for usually a lot of this type of stuff. Since this is just an example, I'm going to do this in the temp directory. And what we're going to do is type git clone and then paste whatever that command was or that text that you copied. So I'm going to do that right now. Now I have Git installed. This will only work if you've got Git installed. And it's different for whatever platform you're on. If you're on Windows, look up how to install Git on Windows. And if you've got Linux and there's different package managers, look up how to install it on your specific distribution of Linux. For apt-get, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just sudo apt-get install git. But that's how you would use Git to clone SNES Tracker's code repository. And you see it just finished. I could probably make the repository a lot smaller and a lot more organized. I'm going to work on that. But for right now, there it is. So yeah, I'm not perfect. But there it is. Now SNES Tracker off the bat won't compile. There's some things we need to make sure we have to get it to compile. And I noticed some comment by Vilex Dryad. I can use it right now, it's just that I cannot type that fast at the moment downloading. Alright, so I think you're keeping up with us. That's good. Stark, rip Stark. So yeah, I actually started documenting the dependencies. If you scroll down, nice, good job, Bill. If you scroll down, there's this README, and I started actually writing stuff about this project. This used to be very, very not much in the README, but at least I started. So there's a how to compile section. This is still very, just wrote this. It's not fine-tuned or anything. But here we start talking about some of the main dependencies, and we're going to need some of this stuff installed, really all of it, depending on what system we're on. And here are the main dependencies: SDL2 and boosts. And this is already getting a bit outdated. I actually recommend you go to the latest. Yeah, see, I wrote newer versions may be compatible. The latest version of SDL2 is 2.0.4. And before I forget, we're going to want to download a dependency that I haven't documented here. That is actually something it's something that I host. So let's go and download that because I'll forget, even though it's impossible to forget because you can't compile it without getting everything in order. But we're going to go there anyways. And here's what it is. It's lib GME, that's capital G, capital M, capital E, underscore, capital M. Okay, so you can see the URL, you should be able to see it. But I'll read it again anyways. github.com/bazanotti/libgme_m with the capital letters I already explained. So what this is I want to explain it briefly. This is it stands for Game Music Emu, and Blarg wrote this, who is also the author of the very cycle-accurate SNES APU emulator. And he came up with this sort of Game Music Emu, which is a music player abstraction that has other emulators for other systems. And I took it and modified it with a specific interest in the Super Nintendo and getting greater access, greater real-time sort of read-write access and reporting mechanisms so that we can see what's happening more in the emulator, and that we can modify stuff in real time. And I'm just going to leave it at that for now. So we want to go ahead and also get this. So the same thing goes that I said earlier. You can either use Git to clone it, or you can download the zip archive. And I'm happy to be covering this live. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Git clone, paste the command. And now we've got, amongst some other crap in my, let me make a new temp directory. Let me just call it SNES Tracker stuff. And I'm going to call it SNS for short. And then I'm going to move SNES Tracker in there, and I'm going to move libgme in there. So now I just got that stuff in there. Alright, cool. Now that we've got those dependencies we should probably get focused on getting the other ones. Oh, I can share the links, Phil. I can definitely share the links. I'm going to write all the links. So this is libgmem. I'll be writing more links down. So I'm going to write this one down, even though you probably already got it. And I'm going to paste that live stream link again, just so I don't lose it. I'm going to post it on BAPA just in case. How to install SNES tracker thing. Alright. Alright. So I just posted that in BAPA. Hopefully people can keep up. So yeah, I'm just going to recover what we're doing in case I'm getting some new viewers. We are learning how to compile this beast called SNES Tracker on Linux. Specifically, Vilx Dryad is going to do this on his Mint box. So we just covered 2 of the things you need to get, which are our links in the chat, libgmem and SNES Tracker. And you can either download the zip or you can use Git to clone it. And I kind of went over that, and we already downloaded that stuff. And here's where I've got it in a temporary directory. See that? SNES Tracker, libgmem. Alright. And now we're going, and this is all in the SNES Tracker's GitHub page README. We're going to get the actual main dependencies, which is SDL2. Let's get SDL2. Now, if you've got a, like you're using Mint Vilx Dryad, we need to see what type of package command you need to install SDL2. Now, I think you can handle this yourself, right? I'm gonna show you a command I like to use to help me. Hey, Ordinate, what's up? A command I like to use to search for packages, unless you can do this yourself, and that's cool. But I'm just gonna write this down anyway. Apt cache search, and then you've got your search thing. So I would put SDL2. So when you say everything's downloaded, I assume you mean SNES Tracker and libgmem, and not SDL2. But if you're not sure how to install SDL2, try that apt cache search SDL2 command. And since I'm on OS X, I can't really do much further. I could look it up for you. Just let me know how it goes for you, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Also, Ordinate, let me know if you have any questions while I wait for Vilx Dryad. Yeah, you're gonna need a lot more than tape and glue, because right now it hasn't been no one's actually compiled it on Windows, and I haven't designed it to be compiled on Windows. It might be possible, but maybe using main.w, but you might want to hold off until, because we actually have someone that has a specific interest in getting this to compile natively on Windows, and that's Yuki-chan. So wait till Yuki-chan takes a look at it, and yeah. Looks like a job. Oh, you want to try this? I mean, all right. Well, here's what's cool about it. Hey, go to and play. So we are actually going over right now how to compile this on Linux and just amassing the dependencies and compiling. But SNES Tracker Debugger can also be compiled right now from Linux for Windows 32. Cross compilation process, but not yet natively on Windows. I was just saying, I wasn't sure if you caught this, but Yuki-chan is going to be taking a look at this sometime shortly. He's going to take a look at this video that we do tonight that shows how to get all the little different components of SNES Tracker. And we're also going to go over the build system so that he can sort of have an understanding, so that he might make modifications to it and bring in a native Windows compilation support to it. Also, I also have the very first Windows created binary, so that means you know, it's literally just like, all right, let me get this thing to compile for Windows 32. Okay, oh my god, it compiled. All right, most of it works, in emphasis on most. And yeah, it's the debugger, just to make that explicit. So it's not the tracker yet. That's like coming in the future. But if you want that, I'm going to write the link. Anyone can check it out, and it comes with some sample SPCs. Nothing's documented yet. This is just literally it compiled, and if someone wants to run it, they can run it. But like, you know, this is not an official release by any means. This is just like, hey, you can check that out if you want. So I'll write the link to that binary. I'm going to write the binary link everywhere. There it goes on the IRC, and here it goes here. Alright, Vilex Dryad, you just posted a bunch of stuff. I can tell you what you want. You want to get... I'm thinking... You're definitely going to need at least... See, I'm looking at libsdl2 and then libsdl2 dev. Let's just get the dev one. Usually the dev one covers us, you know? See, when we do this stuff for the first time, I just try to make sure that I'm covered. So you might only need the libsdl2, but we're going to do the dev one. I think that's just a safer bet. So go ahead and apt-get install libsdl2 dev. Does anyone have an idea what the difference is between the dev package and the regular package? Because I think I have a misleading idea that the dev package includes the header files, but I'm pretty sure you would need the header files to use the library at all, you know, to compile stuff with the library. So maybe it includes what? The source? But I remember having to get those specific dev packages at, you know, at earlier times doing certain developments. So that's why I'm having him get that one. I could do like a sort of search for what's the difference. Bah. Just another fork in the road I don't want to go down. By the way, later Ordinate, if you're still there, peace out, dude. What's probably going to happen is probably instead of having people come back to this video to watch it again, I'll just take what we learned and condense it into a very small guide so that people don't have to go through a very long video. And also, I want to thank you, Vil. I hope that you see how much this means, being the first one to do this, because that's kind of the hardest part. So props to you for taking the time to do this. But at the same time, I also want to grant you a break if you need a break, because that's what bros do. They give each other breaks. hey, nice job installing libstdl2dev. So now that that's installed, I want you to make sure that a certain command will run. So you're just going to type this in a command line and just make sure that it actually did something. It should be sdl2-config, I believe is the command. Try running that in your terminal. See, I have it too. And you should get a response like I just got. Mine might be a little different, maybe a different path. Because I specifically installed mine to this path. But as long as you get some output like that, you're good. Now the reason I mention this is because SNES Tracker will actually try to run that command. And if it isn't found, then it won't compile. Now if that command isn't found, go ahead and install libstdl2. Because you know how we added the dev? You would just install the one without the dev. Because that will definitely have the executable file that we're looking for. SDL2config, it'll have it. And just give me some feedback too, so I know like where you're at. I'm gonna check Bob Bones. Earth to Ville, what's your status? Take your time, dude, because I can actually start documenting your build process, which is cool. I need a new piece of paper. Need paper. My PC's being a rick right now. I can help you way faster by doing it without the stream on, but anyway, I'm going. Where are you going? Are you leaving? Hold on, I gotta get a piece of paper. By the way, it's totally fine. We can do this without the stream. I can just, you can just talk to me like on my IRC channel. I might keep my stream on, but you don't have to actually be in it. Cause I mean, I don't even have to be streaming. I like streaming because it feels. It's like a psychologically, it feels live. Wait, what are you compiling? I'm going forward to compile. I mean, I don't get what you're doing, because I just asked you about SDL2config and whether it worked for you, and you never told me if it did. because that has to exist. So herp derp. Let me know if that exists. And okay, this is an apt-get. How to. SNES tracker. So I haven't gotten a response from you, so I'm just taking this time to start to document how to use apt-get, which is your package manager, how we're going to use that to get the dependencies, so that anyone else who ever tries it can just know the commands off the bat. So we're looking at libstl2 dev. We'll try dev. Hopefully that installed the stl2-config command. I'm still waiting to hear back on you from that. Okay, I'll give you a while. I'm just going to assume that the dev package is good, but at least we know the name of the package, which is libstl2. That's the important part to know. I also hope that you're not trying to compile SNES tracker, because it won't work. We didn't finish getting the dependencies, but I don't think that's what you're doing. Alright, so stl2 package. I'm just going to do package names. We got lib stl2-dev. I'm not sure if dev is necessary. We're going to want to get boost next. I wouldn't be surprised if the package name was libboost, but we need to check. I'm going to do a search in advance. Apt get libboost should be enough, I expect. So I think if I get the Ubuntu answer, it'll cover the other stuff. Whoa, what the heck is this, dude? SDL config. What does that say? Package. Why are you giving me that stuff? Oh. Okay, so you installed libstl2 dev, so that command should be installed. No, it's okay. It's okay. I don't need the output. I really don't. I don't think so. So you should have the command. I'm not sure where you got that output though, because if you had run the commands, you would have gotten an output like here. Remember? See this? You would just be able to type stl2 config and you would get some output. Hey gtap. A G tap. Alright, is there anyone else that's with me right now? Because, I'm sure that I could be of a greater value right now to someone if they're watching, because this is going a bit slower than I would have hoped, which is no problem. Take your time, but I can probably cover other topics right now as well. So we just got to this whole. While I'm waiting for Vil, I'm looking at the next dependency, which is boost. Oh, I'm sorry, being slow ass. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. So I'm not going to say anything. Boost. The thing about the boost dependencies for SNES Tracker is that it doesn't rely on... Boost is very big. It has a lot of different modules. And SNES Tracker only relies on the system and file system sort of modules. And I'm not sure how to use the package manager to just install those modules. And with the command I'm looking at here, it looks like it would install all of them. So you could install all of them, but I'm just saying you don't have to. And if you can find an alternative to just do the system and the file system, that way you don't have to install so much other crap. Let's see what this is. Yeah, everyone's doing this libboost all dev. It looks like we can at least potentially use that, so I'm going to write that down. I feel like Dryad's having some technical difficulties. So I'm just writing this down. Only needs system and file system. But I'm not sure how to only install those packages. Or those sort of sub modules. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this for now. So for now, the whole thing is libboost all dev. And of course, this is an Ubuntu package, so I'm not sure. We're going to have to make sure that that's okay on Mint. I could probably, since this is taking a while, I could probably also document how to get these dependencies on a Macintosh computer. So let's talk a little bit about Mac. I'm going to get yet another piece of paper. I like paper. At least right now I do. And yeah, okay. So for Mac OS X, there are, well, let me write SNES Tracker build process or whatever. SNES Tracker. It's kind of funny because when I made this live stream, I had the full intentions of getting into the actual build system. I'm talking like the make file to SNES Tracker, but the dependencies, you know, they come first. So, um, for a Mac, there are two package managers that I'm aware of, and that is Homebrew and MacPorts. I used to use MacPorts. I liked MacPorts, but when I recently reinstalled my partition, I just kind of cleaned it, reinstalled OS X, and I said, all right, I'm gonna try Homebrew. So I'm gonna go over what to do on Homebrew. Someone else would have to give me the actual MacPorts commands. I don't have that available to me. So let's cover Homebrew. And Vilx Dryad, just ping me when you're ready, or like when you're at the next step. We're going to install Boost. So make sure that I get your message. I don't know. I don't want to not pay attention by writing over here on the paper. So, but I'm going to write on the paper. So I wish I could have the comment thing give me a ding or something. Is that possible? Just send me a lot of messages. I'll see them. And for now, I'll just focus on Homebrew. So, Homebrew. I'm also going to get rid of this. Let me see if let me look at Mint, Boost, install, see what that does. Maybe I should have wrote Linux. Libboost-dev, is that really it? Is that all you need? Let's check that out. You would definitely need that, I believe. So I'm going to write that down. That might be something we want to look at. I think I'm interested in running that first to see if that is sufficient. I'm so glad that we're doing this right now, because, you know, stuff is getting done. GTAP. GTAP. We lost GTAP. I don't blame him. No one's talking in there right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna assume lib boost dev is the one. Okay, now I'm going back to MacPort or Homebrew for the OS X. Now some of you might not be using Homebrew or MacPorts. I've got to consider this. I think if you're not using Homebrew or MacPorts, you're probably not ready to work with SNES Tracker source code. I mean, I don't want to be discouraging. I mean, let's say you want to compile it at least. Oh, well, the simple answer is go and get Homebrew or MacPorts. It's pretty good to have a package manager like that. And then come back here. Or, you know, I'll just, this will all be as a part of a manual by the time, you know, by the time this is all done and said and done. Vilx Dryad, where are you at, dude? It's taking a long time, man. So, Homebrew. Homebrew, baby. We're looking at SDL2. So a lot of times you just use the brew command, brew search, SDL2. Of course, you know these libraries you can download directly and compile them yourself. You can do that with SDL, and you can do that with Boost. So that's got to also go into the documentation. But for the homebrew, all it is SDL2 is, that's the name of the package. So you do a brew install SDL2, and I'm writing that down on my paper here, SDL2. At the moment, the other SDL packages are not needed. Now let me see what I got for Boost here. Yeah, so I just got Boost. Boost. So just Boost. So literally with a brew install SDL2, brew install Boost, and you're ready to go. That's OS X. More or less. Let me see what else we got going on there. The other dependencies are only for Linux, so should be good. I'm not going to talk about Linux at the moment since that's part of Vilex Dryad's journey, which seems to be at a standstill. I almost feel bad for the guy. Alright, well it was nice to establish the homebrew method. I bet you I could probably find out the MacPorts packages and at least know the names. Wouldn't be sure of much else. Let's not go there. Okay. I was debating just stopping the stream altogether, but I won't. Stream kind of keeps me feeling live. It's good for me. Keeps me moving. I'm not sure what to do next. I don't want to work on the code, only because I want to make sure we cover this. I could work on the code while I wait, or I could start documenting the platform-specific dependencies and how to install them. I could update this README file. It's something I could do. Excuse me. I think I'm going to update this README. Maybe have a separate README, like with platform-specific installation instructions. The hell is it? Holy crap! This is the README for my MIDI cartridge. That needs to go somewhere else, that text file. I'm just going to put that into the MIDI receive thing. Let's make sure I don't overwrite something. No, there's no README in there. Oh, crap. the heck is going on? Is my computer so slow right now that it can't even do a simple text move command? Because I have to git move that. I could probably just git add it. And it'll just take care of it for me. Alright, I think I'm going to make an install.md file. And it'll just touch upon the sort of platform specifics. Yeah, let's just do that. This isn't really an install. This is like how to compile and stuff. Yeah, just leave it in there. Call it install.md. So, don't I have a specific program to edit these files? This mo. Should probably quit. I should probably get off of this. Okay, I don't know what happened to you, Vil. Oh, brother. I just realized something. For the Linux native file dialog box, it uses GTK. But I'm sure that there are certain. Now Mint will be fine because I'm pretty sure Mint uses GTK, anyways. But there's other distros that use KDE, which I'm pretty sure doesn't use GTK, uses Qt. So, might want to have the ability to have a Qt native file dialog implementation that can be conditionally compiled based on this person's Linux distribution. I have to double check. So I'm going to go into. By the way, that doesn't. It's not distribution specific. That's desktop manager specific. But anyway, right now it's GTK. So, that's just another thing I have to add to the to-do. So let me add that. Okay, well, let's get out of here. Where is the to-do? To-do. More to-dos. Yay, to-dos. We love to-dos. I'm not even going to organize them. I'm just going to do one at a time. This would be Qt NFD implementation and conditional compile specification. Sounds good to me. Okay, I'm actually updating the to-do. What? Okay, I have to go to my actual SNES tracker location, not this temporary one. I was making modifications to the temporary one. Alright, so Vilex Dryad, do you actually even exist right now in my life? Or are you just completely AWOL? Just send me a message so that I know that you're actually active. I think I'm gonna have to pull up some boppa music. Just saying. Not sure I can do without it. I'm not sure if I can actually get the radio. Isn't it like April Fool's and the radio doesn't work? Yes! Vilex Dryad with the SDL2 config command. Congrats! I'm gonna open up some butt radio and we're gonna go move on. Let me turn it down. How's the volume compared to my voice? How's the mix? I need to know how the mix is. Is that good? It does detect the command. You were good. Okay. So let me know how the volume is. And I will consider our next move. I'm going to write to you our next command. This one might take a while. Let me know how that command runs. Let me know that it actually works. You gotta hand it to Bopham. A lot of great composers. A lot of talent. Don't you think? What's, by the way, your entry on the Western, Super Western? That was pretty good, man. Just saying. Strobe is hit or miss with me. I wonder what my next move is. I think I'm gonna have to go find some sweatpants or something, shorts or something. BRB. I'm gonna go grab some snacks or something. I'll be right back. But let me know if you got Boost installed. I wrote the command in the chat box, Phil. Oh, you got Boost installed. It's awesome. Okay. I'm thinking of. We're almost there. We're getting close. I think we're about halfway there. Okay, so you got Boost. Oh, let me look up that other package, the GTK one. I have to look at my makefile GTK. Okay, so my SNES tracker's makefile actually makes an assumption, which is not a good thing to do. It needs work. It assumes that GTK2 is installed, and it actually potentially can use GTK3. So I don't know which version you have. Um, is there any way that I can? Okay. Is there any way that I can SSH into your box? I think it'd be easier, and then I'll stream what I do. I don't really need administrator access or anything. I just need to be able to run some basic commands. And I'm going to add as a to-do to GTK. It's delaying like 30 seconds from now. Oh man, it's crazy. Did you hear that burp? GTK plus 2, I need to be able to sort of detect GTK plus 2 or GTK 3. So does that mean that you're going to give me the SSH access, or do you want me to just tell you the commands? I'm kind of impatient, so I'll just send you a command and you tell me what it does. Now, if that doesn't do anything, we've just got to install, you know, another thing. I think I'm gonna have to take a break soon, maybe for the night. I got work in the morning. I want to thank you again for doing this with me, because you're helping making this better, because I'm looking at all the things that sort of suck about this process, and I'm going to make it easier for people. But if you didn't do this with me, I probably wouldn't have taken the time, because I would have been coding. Okay, no problem. Since you don't have either of them, we will get the latest one, I think. Well, you pick. Do you want to get version 2 or version 3? It's up to you. And there's like a 30-second delay, so I'm going to have to wait for that response. I have to find out what the package name is. Alright. Well, let's do 3, just because it's newer. It looks like this is going to be it right here. This is straight from linuxmint.com. I want you to try installing this. Try that. See how that works. And after you install that, rerun the package config command, and we will take a look at that output. What the? Is this just my computer going butt slow right now? No thanks. Oh, what's going on? I'm definitely not clicking that. All installed. Nice. Now let's rerun that package config command. So you're going to want to rerun this command. I'll paste it anyways again. Try that. I hope that's right. Alright, you know what? Forget about this. It must be an April Fool's joke. Keeps getting me out of the radio. Either that or my computer. It's just... Whew. Did I get the right command? Or something. I need to really add a configure script. Or something. Something's got to be done. Hey, it worked. Wait, what did you do? Is that the output? Okay. That's good. That means it worked. Awesome. All right. So we just installed the dependencies now, and you've got GTK 3.0. The only thing about that fact that you've got 3.0 is that you're going to have to modify the make file, and I'm going to help you do that right now. So I'm going to send you to the file. We go, if we're in the SNES tracker directory, I'm going to put this in a better place. Let me add that to the to-do right now. Put STD in a better location. Yeah, I know. STD, I have to, I don't know. It's actually in PC Tracker, APU, GME, STD. So you want to go to this subdirectory, and you want to edit the makefile. And I'm going to open the makefile. When you open the makefile, it should look like this. Exactly what I have on my screen. You're going to scroll down to this part where you see it says Linux. And you're going to go to where it says GTK C flags and LD flags. And you're going to change this to 3.0. Just like that. See that? And then you're going to save the file. So I'm going to undo it just because I'm not using this. That was just for you to change. And I'm going to automate that at some point because we're going to make life easier for the other people in the future. Oh, dude, this is good. It's showing me what I gotta do to make this better for other people. So, including you, next time. One thing I need to do is automate the compilation of lib JDK MIDI, because that's going to be the next thing we do. We're going to automate the we're going to compile lib JDK MIDI. which is an internal dependency inside package switch SNES tracker. So I'm not sure if you're caught up with me, but I'm going to go through it anyways. And if you miss anything, we'll just go over it again. I don't really mind. So here's what we're going to do. We're gonna get out of the std directory, and now we're in the GME VSPC directory, and you see we've got libjdk MIDI. So we're gonna go into libjdk MIDI, and right now we're going to compile it for Linux. So this is where the things get really manual. It looks like I'm trying to figure out where do we expect. Oh yeah, right. Usually we install it. So here we go. This is what we're gonna do. I can't tell if you're with me or not. This is very important. But you need to change this prefix to where your other stuff is installed, which for you is probably /user. So you would want to make the prefix user. You're probably going to want to do that. You can also specify that later when we compile it on the command line. But that is a very crucial step. If you don't do that, it's crucial. In all honesty, since we're so disconnected right now, I might have to just SSH into your box and do it in front of you, or just forget it. There's too much of a disconnect. I can't bear with it. I can't bear it. But I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Alright, this is good though. It's really shining a light on what needs to be done next. Automate the compilation of libjdk MIDI. I don't know where he's at. I'm just going to pretend I'm going to compile this anyway. So we go into the C++ directory, and then you're just going to make an output directory. It doesn't matter what it's called right now. I'm going to just call it out dot. I'm going to pretend I'm on Linux, even though I'm not. Dir out.linux. I think it's okay to pretend. And then basically you're going to go /configure, and let's look at the commands. Now of course you would use this one. See that? That's what you would use. But I'm on a Mac, so I have to do the Mac version. So I'm going to make dir out.mac. I'm gonna stop the stream. I'm seeing a tremendous opportunity to streamline the sort of how-to compile SNES Tracker, and doing it this way is just not happening. So I'm gonna see if I can finish helping Vilix Dryad, but I definitely want to redo a video and just streamline it. So I don't know. I'm gonna probably delete this video, but of course, two ways to do. So, anyways, if anyone's watching, see you guys later, and I'll be around in the IRC channel. So yeah.